Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at another deck that I've seen in the online scene, that is. And I must admit, I think I need a shower after playing this one. This is Crustle Wall. Now, I didn't think I'd be playing a wall deck, but still, this sort of deck is quite interesting, to say the least. And yeah, it's a deck that, you know, it has its own, like, charm to it, but at the same time, if you're playing, like, God of War, you'll be fine against this, but otherwise, yeah, you're going to have a hard time with this. So, of course, as per usual, in the description below, there will be links to timestamps. Obviously, the deck list. The deck list will also be in the description below for those that wish to copy it. And, of course, the games that we'll play and the outro, what I think of this deck. So I've made no changes from the original online list that I found this on. I've just kept it as bare bones and pretty much kept it how it originally was anyway. There is one change I'm debating putting in, and that is a Psychic Energy, just to have that as a option in the list, but it's more making the room for it, so that way Munkidori can be just a disruptive attacker, but it's more like making the room for it, which is quite unusual. So, of course, we all know what this little bugger does. This is Crustle, with his mysterious rock in. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. Now, of course, it does have a pretty hefty attack cost for just 3 energy. But, well, I say attack cost for the damage is what I mean. With 3 being required for 120. Now, of course, we do play things like Luxurious Cape to try and buff this little guy, but generally, we want to be trying to use stuff like Turbo Energize, Crispin, which we play 4 of, and just in general trying to get this thing powered up as quickly as possible. In an ideal world as well, once we get to the deck list, there's a special energy card which we've not covered on the channel before, and also an ace spec we've not covered. So, let's go to the deck list and let's discuss this list. Welcome to the deck list. So the whole idea is, obviously, we want to be setting up our Dwebble and Crustle. Then, of course, using Munkidori to move damage off, which is why we're playing 4 Dark Energy. Then, of course, if we need to, we can have Cornerstone mask Ogerpon, although Cornerstone has kind of dropped in use because of how many people just play around him these days. But there's still the option to use Cornerstone where required. Now, of course, we're playing 4 Arven, 4 Crispin, 4 Boss, 3 Iono, 2 Colress, and 1 Lana's Aid. So for those that were doing the counting there, that is a lot of supporters. Yeah, and if I just do this, you can see the amount of supporters. I mean, it's crazy, but you know, it's what the deck needs, because obviously it doesn't have a draw engine, and that's why I'm playing 4 Pokégear as well. But still, Lana's Aid we've not really covered on the channel, so this lets you take any number of basic, well, up to 3, I should say, of any combination of Pokemon and also basic energy. The Pokemon have to have no rule box, which means we can't get back our Cornerstone, and put them into our hand. But of course, if it's a Pokemon EX or a V, we can't do that. So in other words, if we're getting rid of Cornerstone, or we lose Cornerstone, we can't get him back. So that's something to consider. Then of course, 4 Pokégear. Very useful card in this list. 2 Buddy Poffin, 2 Nest Ball, an Earthen Vessel just for, you know, getting energy in the hand. Energy Switch, always nice to have it. Then we're playing this ace spec. This is Poké Vital A, and I must admit, I never thought this card would see play, but, well, this deck, this exact 60 topped an online tournament, so I wanted to give it a cheeky try. So this lets us heal 150 damage from one of our Pokemon. Now, if you look very carefully, you'll notice Dwebble, Crustle, and Munkidori have either at 150 or less than 150. The only one that doesn't is Cornerstone. So how does this come into play? Well, that's quite easy. We play Luxurious Cape. This lets us give any Pokemon that does not have a rule box 100 more HP. Obviously, it does let your opponent take another prize card, but that means we can put a Crustle up to 250 HP, and if we have a Mist Energy on it, which we'll cover in a moment, yeah, this can tank a lot of hits. Turbo Energize, this lets us attack, well, this lets us use the attack Turbo Energize, so we search for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to our bench Pokemon any way I like, and then shuffle our deck as normal. Now, we're not playing Air Balloon, which is new from this set, because we don't really need it. Generally, this is only here to get Munkidori and or Cornerstone at the active, so we don't need that. We are playing one copy of Practice Studio, which is a really interesting little stadium. The attacks of our stage one Pokemon and also the opponents do 10 more damage to the active Pokemon. Not really going to come up too much, but the extra 10 damage does add up. Then one copy of Town Store, one copy of Artazon, 4 basic Dark Energy, 4 basic Grass Energy, 3 Mist Energy, which basically stops Dragapult's effect. So in other words, all effects of attacks done by your opponent's Pokemon are negated. So Confusion from Munkidori, Burn from a couple of other attackers. Like I say, Dragapult's 6 damage counters can't touch anything that has a Mist Energy on. So that's why we're playing 2 Colress' Tenacity. Then of course 1 basic Fighting Energy, just in case we need to use the Cornerstone. But if we're not, we can put it on the Crustle because obviously the colours cost. 1 copy of Jet to get us a little bit of pivot, but still. And then 1 copy of Reversal. Now, if I was to personally say which card I would cut to put in the basic Psychic Energy, like I said, it'd probably be Reversal. But that's just my take on it. So, now that we've had a look at the deck list, let's get into a match and see how we do. And welcome to the match. I've literally only just started playing the ladder. I was away all the weekend when the update dropped. Was out for my mother's birthday present to herself. Do we want to go first? I would say I'm going to go yes. I don't know if this deck goes good first or second. I would imagine given the high support account, probably like second is probably better. Okay, that kind of gives away what we're playing, but that's fine. So yeah, we was away for the weekend for most of it, so I've not been able to jump on. I will say, and a few other PokeTubers have pointed this out, the graphics, 5 mulligans. Oh boy. Tell me you love me, game. Okay, at least we get a Buddy Poffin start. That's fine with me. He's probably going to take all 5, and this could be Charizard. But that's okay. I'm going to get a turn attachment onto the Crustle. I'm not too bothered about the Munkidori getting energy right now. He's taking all 5. Go right ahead, my friend. Oh, this is Emball Box. Okay, this will be interesting. So, we will play the Buddy Poffin, get 2 Dwebble. So, let's see what we've prized. We've prized 2 Crustle. We've prized 1 Boss, it looks like. What else have we prized? Have we prized any energy? We've prized... No, the prize looks completely fine, I'll be brutally honest. Definitely seen worse. So I'm going to attach a Mist Energy to the Dwebble. And we will pass. Not obviously like the most intense start, but, you know. Ooh, a Gouging Fire, okay. Now obviously, if they are using... if they're using Emboar as an attacker, this could be an issue. But I think we can work with this. Lavencia. Why is there a Lavencia in that list? Okay, I'll take the Iono, but why is there Lavencia? Unless they're playing Iron Hands in there, and Iron Hands doesn't do anything right now. There's a Cornerstone, that's fine. We can deal with that. With our own Cornerstone. So yeah, this is just an Emball Box list, it looks like. Failed Buddy Poffin, interestingly. And I think it's just going to be a Team Evo into this Tepig. Which will turn it into a... Oh, what's the evolution? It's Tepig... Oh, what's the middle evolution? Because it's been so long since I played Gen 5. Well, we'll see it in a minute, because I've forgotten it. I haven't played Gen 5 since I was little, and he's whiffed it. He's whiffed the Evo. That's fine with me, Chief. There's Poké Vital. That's not particularly useful. Let's go for a Nest Ball. Grab our own Cornerstone, because we're going to need it to deal with this guy. Obviously, he can use Gouging Fire to take out our Cornerstone, so we have to be careful with that. Then, we're going to go Buddy Poffin again, grab another Dwebble. And I think we just played a Crispin for turn, to be really honest. So let's go grab a Grass and a Dark. Put the Grass into hand. Put the Dark on a Munkidori. Attach Grass to the Dwebble, and we'll pass. Like I say, I've got to be careful of that Gouging Fire, which is an issue, but we can deal with that. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to remember. Is it Pignite? Yeah, I thought it was. I was trying to think, because obviously my brain's trying to like compute it. Yeah, Pignite. I haven't seen him in years. Lightning Energy. I think they're playing like just a toolbox sort of approach. So like Cornerstone, Iron Hands, things like that. That'd be my guess anyway. And that's a pass from them. Okay, that's fine with me. There's an Iono. We will play the Iono. Gives them more cards to work with, but I can live with that. Although I can't live with that, to say the least. So yeah, I'll just attach... Do I attach Fighting here? I think I just put a Grass on the second Dwebble and just start powering that up. Because this guy's only 1 energy from attacking, so I'm not really worried. Then we can Pokégear, hopefully find a Crispin and go from there. It's obviously a slow start, which this... Because we whiffed on our... We've comprised 2 Crustle, which don't help. So that can be an issue. But I think we'll be okay. Obviously, I didn't see any Ultra Ball in this list. So it's going to be down to luck that we draw into. It's going to be down to luck that we draw into it. I'm more worried about this Gouger Fire than anything else. There's another attachment to the Cornerstone. Like I said, Cornerstone will be an issue eventually, which I'm a bit concerned about. But I haven't seen a basic Fighting Energy. I've seen 2 Lightning Energy and a Fire Energy. There's Counter Gain. That doesn't really help them right now. I'm just concerned when this Pignite becomes a Embor. Like I said, I remember Tepping and Embor. I just did not remember Pignite. Obviously, we don't play the basic Lightning Energy, so we can't use Lavencia. Yeah, we're off to a slow start, but I'm not too fussed about that. The opponent's taken a while to make their moves, but I suspect this is their first time playing the deck, same with me. But obviously I've got 2 Crustle in the prizes. There's a Reshiram. The Reshiram could be an issue as well, but we will cross that bridge. We can always, if we get Crustle off the top, we can retreat the Munkidori, attach the Grass Energy, boss it, and just start plinking it. Because that's got a 2 retreat cost. And I'm more than happy to take advantage of that, let's put it that way. And that's a pass. Perfect. There's another Munkidori. We'll gladly bench you. Let's go for the Pokégear. Well, there's an Iono and a boss. I'm going to take the Iono because I need to find myself a thingamabob. I'm going to attach to turn here just so we have it on the field. And Iono. Still no Crustle, which is getting on my nerves. See, you can now see why I'd want to play a basic Psychic Energy, because I could be putting pressure on with the... Because obviously we had Earthen Vessel in the previous hand. I really do think a copy of basic Psychic Energy would just add to this a little bit more. I know I say that for a lot of lists that play Munkidori, but like, it's something to consider. There's a Vessel, probably going to grab a Fighting Energy now. Yep, there's the Fighting Energy. So we could go Crispin and attack with Cornerstone next turn if we want to. And also, for those that don't know, Cornerstone can go through Crustle. So I am a little bit concerned now, but... There's an Ultra Ball. Is it going to grab the Embor? 2 Reshiram. Okay. There's the Embor, Inferno Fandango. So for those that don't know what that does, that lets you put as many Fire Energies on as much as you like, as long as you have them in hand. That's why I don't get the Lavencia. Surely, like, I know the Lightning Energy's here, but like, wouldn't it be better to like put it, well, to play something like more Energy Retrieval or something? Or is that just me? But yeah, this Cornerstone is a concern, is all I will say. Just putting 2 on the Reshiram. He has no draw though, so yes, he takes out a Monkey, but we can work with this because obviously we have Poké Vital, we have the Crispin. So let's set up the Cornerstone. So we can heal the 140 off, so I'm not really worried. I'll bounce the Stadium, use the Artazon, grab another Monkey. And we will play the Crispin. It doesn't matter what order we do it because, you know, the Grass Energy's been attached to the Cornerstone either way. We could put 2 dark on it, but I don't really want to do that. And then we will just demolish. I know it says 0, but it will go through. Because like I said, the attacker Cornerstone ignores any effects on your opponent's Pokemon. So he'll hit us for 140. We then heal with Poké Vital. And we are just balling after that. I will probably want to grab... I'll probably want to grab something off of Corus Tenacity or play Arven. Get a luxurious cape for Dwebble. But like I say, I'm taking my time with this. I think he's starting to slow play deliberately, which is annoying. So there's Reshi. Reshi doesn't do anything right now, but that's fine. He's retreating into the Reshi. Reshi doesn't do anything right now. It does 130, and that's it. Just a slash. Okay, that's fine with me, Chief. That's not even worth doing, really, because I can do this. I'm not going to Poké Vital. I think I'm going to Tenacity. In fact, no, let's Arven. So we can go for... Would E-Switch help? E-Switch actually does help, so let's do E-Switch. I will take the Rescue Board. E-Switch lets us heal this Cornerstone completely. So we'll do that. Then Adrenabrain 3 of the Cornerstone. Because we don't need to worry about this. I'm more worried about the Gouging Fire. I mean, we could just put the 60 on the Reshiram. It doesn't really matter. Because if he hits us, we can just knock this out with Munkidori anyway. And then we Energy Switch. Move this to the other Munkidori. Well, sorry, the 50 to Reshiram. So then we move the 2 off of there. And then we'll just demolish for 140. Because what that means is if he hits us with Blazing Burst, we can actually hit him for more damage. Because obviously we can grab another Dark Energy off of Chorus's Tenacity. So if he hits us with Blazing Burst, I'm not worried. We have this pretty much how we want it. Cornerstone is actually putting in a lot more work than I thought he would. But like I say, I think genuinely this list needs a basic Psychic. But that's just my opinion on it. So let's see what he does. Because obviously he is starting to slow play a little bit. And I'm not really a fan of that. But still. Retreating into the Tepig. I guess he's functioning as a meat shield right now. That's fine with me. Because what he's trying to make me do is he's trying to make me go above on prizes to use Reshiram's Blazing Burst attack. But that is fine with me, Chief. So let's go for a Chorus of Tenacity. Do I actually take a Jet Energy here? No, I don't think Jet really does anything for me. We'll just take a Dark Energy. This does mean our Crispins are now offline, but that's okay. I can then bounce this town's, or the Artazon for Town Store. That's fine. We'll then do that and swing with Demolish. Take out the Tepig. So Reshiram is still 30 short, so unless he plays a Defiance Band, which he could do. I mean, this list is a bit of a pile looking at it. He could do. I think he's trying to make me, like, go through his bigger boys, and then he's going to come up with his Reshiram and start swinging. Unless, like I say, he plays Defiance Band, which I doubt it, but... Like I say, he's definitely got an interesting list here. I think Firebox is something I want to, I do want to look into this. Okay, Air Balloon, but that doesn't work because you've got kind of gain on the Cornerstone. Max Rod is pretty interesting, though. Although he can do Inferno Fandango and knock it out with Gouging Fire, so he has a line here. But like I say, whiffing our what's the word? Crustle is really annoying. Grabbing a Bravery Charm, okay, that's fine with me, Chief. Because once I get my Crustle set up, I'm pretty much golden. Because there's not a lot his board can do. He can attack with Emboar, but I'm not worried about that. Because now I can use Inferno Fandango and set up the Gouging Fire to attack. But then Gouging Fire can only do Blaze Blast, or Heat Blast, sorry. I'm not particularly worried. It's just, you know, this has been a slow game so far. So let's see what he does. He'll obviously have more in hand because he dug out all the energy from the prize. Why is he doing that? You only need 3 unless you're giving it extra retreat. And there we go, there's Blaze Blitz. That's fine with me, Chief. You can take your 2 prizes. We are in dire need now of our Crustle. We need the Crustle soon. And that's not it. Like I said, I definitely think this list should be playing at least 1 Ultra Ball, because you can see the problem here. Like we've got 2 Crustle in deck, but I'm just gonna thin then. In that case, what I can do as well is I can Turbo Energize and thin a bit further, which I think I will. So I'm going to Turbo Energize, take the 1 Grass Energy, and pop it here. That way we're filling a couple more cards, because I need the Crustle ASAP. There's no sugarcoating it, I need it ASAP. Because obviously we now have to deal with Cornerstone, who can go through the Crustle's effect. So we are really getting a bit dicey right now. And obviously with that Reshiram having a Bravery Charm, it's getting really hard to keep up right now. I'm getting very concerned about this matchup. Like I say, no recovery as well. Like there's no Night Stretchers, there's no Super Rod. It's getting dicey. Really getting dicey right now. I'm hoping he hits us with the Heat Blast, but I don't think he will. If he does, then I can start moving damage around and maybe take out the Cornerstone. But this is getting very dicey right now. And he's just passed. He does know that he needs to leave the active spot, right? Let's go for a Pokégear. So, we know Crispin is offline. The boss isn't. So I can thin that out. I can then Chorus's Tenacity to thin a bit further. We can thin out the Practice Studio. And we can thin out a Mist. Because I'm trying to thin cards so we can high roll into our thingamabob, the Crustle. There's no basic energy left in deck. So I'm just going to attach a Mist to the Dwebble and pass. Whiffing these Crustles is so bad. I can't overstate how bad it is. So I'm hoping that we can do something very, very soon. Because it's really looking bad for us right now. Like I say, he doesn't obviously know that Blaze Blitz needs to leave the active spot, which I think he's just worked out now. So he's going to take out one of our monkeys and go down to 2 prizes, which is really bad for us. Oh boy. And obviously with no draw, we can't really get anywhere. Like I said, there's a lot to learn about this list, and there's a lot to change about it, I feel. But if it gets to a point where I'm not able to win, I'm just going to concede, because I don't want to waste any more time. Because like I say, I know he's deliberately slow playing now. He has nothing else to really do other than Inferno Fandango. So I know for a fact he's taking the MIG. And now we've got a second Cornerstone to deal with. This is really tough. Cornerstone is just really bad for us right now. Just going to start charging up that Cornerstone. Like I say, I'm really not confident in this matchup right now. And there's the Demolish. We need, like, we can use Ascension if we really have to, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to promote the Munkidori. There's the Crustle. Finally, we finally got one. So I'm going to put the Luxurious Cape on it and take a risk. So we still have Poké Vital A, so that's something to consider. So then I'm going to retreat into the Crustle. I'm going to boss the Reshiram. And Superb Scissors and take it out. That finally puts us back on the board. I didn't want to use Ascension. I know someone in the comments can say, oh, you could use Ascension. Yeah, but then that gives him a free swing with Cornerstone. I mean, he gets free swing anyway, but we've just took 2 prizes, so I'm not really worried about that. Now, how many Dark Energy would he have left? All our Dark Energy is in the discard now, so we can't even use Munkidori. Our only heal is Poké Vital. And obviously, we can't hit this Cornerstone. So I think based off of that, I'm just going to concede and we'll go to game 2. That one was pretty disappointing, I must say. I must admit, like, there's definitely a lot to, like, consider with this list. Like, it went, I think, 11-2 on online tournament. I don't remember the record of it, but it did very well. I'm not saying it's a bad idea and, like, a bad deck. I just feel like it needs something more. Like, the lack of recovery really bit it in the backside there. But I digress. Do you want to go first? No, I've learned that lesson. I must admit, like, it felt like, I know Ascension is obviously a part of it, but like I didn't want to use Ascension if I could. So it's quite tricky to navigate. And obviously we only play 8 basics, so that's why we're mulliganing quite a bit. Yeah. It's an interesting one. I will say, like, the deck, I know it can obviously do a lot, but it's just it needs a little bit more support, I think, to like get it going where it should be. So there's Dwebble and Munkidori. I'm going to start the Dwebble because we are going second and we can use Ascension. And I have a Mist Energy, so let's see. Just got to hope this isn't a Donk deck, but I doubt it. Because I would have put down a Munkidori, but I don't think I need to. Badoo. Okay, that's fine. They'll know what this is the moment they see that Badoo. That's fine with me, Chief. I will take that. So we'll use the Munkidori for Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Nest Ball. Grab another monkey. Might as well Pokégear so we can get a Crispin. No, that's fine. I can put the Mist Energy on anyway. Mist Energy. Iono. Thin that hand size down. Yep, you give me that thumbs up all you like, buddy. And Ascension. So we prize 1, but that's okay. We have Crispin for a turn anyway, so it's fine. I was just more worried about getting the Dwebble going, to be honest. But like, Badoo doesn't bother me. Obviously, with Iono to like disrupt their hand, which I'm assuming was a really good second, like going second hand. But obviously, we don't know what they're playing, so this could be interesting. And straight away with an Iono, sure thing. Puts that Dark Energy back in deck. And there's another Crispin. We get a Grass Energy as well. Sweet. And a concede. We will go to game 3 then. We never knew what this guy was playing. Oh, well, that was a short game, wasn't it? Don't even know what happened with him. Like, he played Badoo, like, we both Iono'd and he still had nothing. I'd love to know what sort of pile he was playing. Now we whiff the tails, that's unfortunate. Let's see what happens from here. Opponent is going first. But yeah, I must admit, I do like the art. It's just, I feel this is very unfinished with the way it's laid out and everything. We start a monkey, that's fine. At least we're not mulliganing. 5 mulligans in the first game, and then obviously we had 1 in the other one. It's, you know, it's, the lack of basics isn't a problem. It's just, you know, it can be annoying. Okay, so this is N's deck. What do they really get from this new set? Like, there's N's plot, but that's kind of a crap card, I'll be honest. Dark Energy Zorua, that's fine with me, Chief. There's a Vessel, let's play the Arven. No, not the Pokégear. I want a Buddy Poffin and I want a Turbo Energize. Let's see how many we've prized. We've not prized any, but we have prized a monkey, that's okay. We've also prized Cornerstone, but that's okay. Can live with that. So then attach Dark Energy, Energize, and Energize. Grab 2 grass. 1, 2. Good start. Like I say, we can use Ascension, and obviously End Zoroark doesn't really have a way to hit us unless we go behind on prizes. Because obviously it's an EX, the Reshiram doesn't attack, the what is it, the Darmanitan does, but it needs to be behind on prizes because they don't play basic fire energy. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go well for our little friend here, but let's do what we can do. Well, he can do, I should say, because he does have outs. Like, he does have ways to get around it. If he gusts up the Dwebbles quite early, he can obviously have an advantage, but yeah. Obviously, Backdraft, I forgot about that attack. That can also help, and there's an Iono, that's fine. Let's see if we get Crispin off of that. No, but we do get Pokégear. I may have to just Ascension, but I'm not bothered. Like, that's fine. Like, the Darmanitan is something we're going to have to deal with eventually anyway, because 30 damage for every basic energy could be an issue. And there's the Zoroark. You could also copy Flame Body Cannon, take out one of the dudes, but I don't think... Well, for a start, he needs Ed's Castle. But he's also got trade still to do. So, he could get it. He could definitely get it. Because he hits Munkidori for weakness. And no, it looks like he's whiffed it. That's fine with me, Chief. So, let's go for Munkidori on the bench. We'll go for the Town Store. Pokégear, we get a Crispin. Sweet. So then we'll Crispin. Obviously our Cornerstone is prized, but I can deal with that. So we'll go Dark Energy to the Monkey. We'll retreat into one of the Dwebbles. I'm going to put the Mist Energy on it just in case. And then Ascension. Now, Superb Scissors doesn't one-shot the Zoroark, but it's fine because, like I said, we have the Munkidoris to move damage around. And obviously copying an attack is still done from an EX Pokemon. So we do have at least something. So it's not the end of the world. Like I said, we've got energy in hand, so we're not too worried. But yeah, I must admit, I think this list has a long way to go before I would consider it a problem. But yeah. I don't think it's a deck that we should all worry about, and there you go, Devolution is an interesting addition. I don't think it's a deck we need to worry about for now. It's something to consider, because obviously a lot of decks are playing Chi-Yu at the minute. Obviously Victini, the new promo, could also be used in decks. So yeah, I'm not particularly worried about this, I'll be really honest. I'm not worried about these decks at all. Let's see what he does. There's an Iono, that's fine. As long as we get another energy. Or maybe a boss. Energy boss would be really nice. Nope, none. How about that? Ends castles where he gets his retreat. He could use Devo, but like I just re-evolve the Crustle, so it's not a major deal. I'm not really worried about that. He could copy Flame Body Cannon and take out the second Dwebble, so that's something he could do. But I digress. Like I said, I definitely think Reversal Cut for Psychic Energy just makes no... like, it makes sense. Night Joker. Are we doing a Flame Body Cannon? He is indeed doing a Flame Body Cannon. Probably the smart thing to do, because like I say, you're setting up energy in the discard pile. So yeah, I'm fine with that, Chief. That's fine with me. We just need an energy now. I will speak of the devil, and it shall appear. So we'll go get rid of the Pokégear. Get these two. We'll put the fighting energy on the Crustle, because the dark is more important. We'll grab another Dwebble. And then we can just reshuffle the dark energy back into the deck. With a big fat Iono. There's Poké Vital. There's our Lana's Aid, which could help. We'll bench another monkey. And we'll Superb Scissors for 240. So we don't knock it out, but that's fine. It's quite interesting, but Still. Like I said, my opponent's taking a bit of time to do his moves, but obviously because he doesn't really have many options, I don't blame him for taking his time. So there's another Crispin. So we have one Dark in there, we've got one Dark in play. So I was going to say, we should have a Dark in there. So we'll put the Dark in hand, and the Grass on the Dwebble. We can then evolve into the Crustle. Attach a Dark Energy, and we will just take out this Zoroark with Superb Scissors. Down goes the Zoro, and that's 2 prizes. I would love to see, because there's a young lad at my locals, and he's started playing Zoroark. I would love to see him handle this deck, is all I will say. He'd probably strangle me for playing this sort of deck, but, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, I must admit, like, it's something where, like, this deck can obviously, like, work, but at the same time, I just feel that with so many counters and obviously many people playing single prizes, I'm not particularly worried. And speaking of not particularly worried, I'm not particularly worried about this Flame Body Cannon. Because like I say, if you hit the Crustle, I just heal it with Poké Vital. And even then, I'll just move Munkidori damage. So I'm not, again, particularly worried. So let's see what he does. Like I said, this is probably his best answer, is Darmanitan. Blood Moon Ursaluna quite early. That's interesting. Defiance Band, that does nothing for you. I would want to find my... Okay, there's an Iono, so we don't get to use our Poké Vital. That's fine. I would want to see my Luxurious Cape right up now. There's an Arven, so that's our answer for it. Because what I can do is I can move 3 damage off the Crustle here, put it on a Darmanitan, and in fact, Crispin would probably be better in this situation. Crispin would probably be better. Because there's still a Grass in deck, I think. No, there isn't. And obviously with our Fighting Energy gone. Yeah, this isn't looking good. This isn't looking good at all. We could put the reversal on it and just like stall, but like, you know, I'm not a big fan of that. This isn't looking good. There goes the reversal. So he takes a prize. We'll promote the Crustle anyway, because obviously we need to have it ready. Okay. So we know that there is... I mean, there's Energy Switch. We could actually use that. I think we'll actually do that then. So if we use Arven, grab the Energy Switch and a Luxurious Cape, we can then go Adrenabrain 3 off the Crustle, put it onto the Darmanitan, so now it's in range. We then use the second Adrenabrain, and we'll move 3 damage off and put it on this Zoroark, so that way we have it set up a bit more. We'll attach the Reversal Energy to the Crustle, Energy Switch one of the Dark Energies, Luxurious Cape it, and then Superb Scissors knock out the Darmanitan. Okay, that's definitely something. Obviously we can move Munkidori and damage this Zoroark, so we have outs. We've actually gotten out of that because of me remembering that we have an Energy Switch. That's pretty good. Really good, that is. So that's pretty useful. There's a Buddy Poffin. Like I say, Blood Moon Ursaluna is very useless in this matchup. Like, you can take out a monkey, but I don't really care. And like I say, Zoroark can't really do anything. So I think at this point, because I have Boss in hand, if he puts down a Darumaka, I just target it. Go down to even prizes. He could also just bust up a Munkidori, but I'm not really bothered. Cypher Maniac, that's fine. I think what he needs is a Night Stretcher to get back to Darumaka. But if he grabs that Cleffa as well at the same time to, like, you know, get support Pokemon in, I don't think it's going to end too well for him, because I can just, you know, move the 3 damage off, kill the Cleffa, and then just boss whatever I want. So yeah, there's a Darumaka, so we're going to target the Darumaka. He's obviously played a Cypher Maniac for turns, so we can do that. So we can move the 3 damage off the Crustle, set up the Zoroark, boss the Darumaka, and that way his Flame Body Cannon is not a threat. And there we go, that's a concession. We had boss in hand anyway, so I wasn't particularly worried about that. But yeah, that was an interesting match. So, what do I think of the deck? Like I said, it's a deck that I think we should obviously keep in mind, but I'm not worried about it. It's like walls in general. Like, so many people play around walls and their abilities and stuff. I'm not particularly worried, and like I said, we have Chi-Yu in the format, so as long as Chi-Yu's a thing, and like Dragozard keep playing it, and regular Charizard keep playing it, and obviously Firebox is now becoming a thing because of Emboar, I wouldn't lose sleep over this, and I would say it's a deck that needs improvement in order to be more of a meta threat. Obviously, I'm not discrediting the player that went 11, well, I think he topped the online tournament. I'm not discrediting that. But what I'm saying is that I think this deck needs a little bit more refinement before it's ready to be considered a meta threat. And even then, look at how bad Walls flopped. But I digress. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing Crustle Wall in action, and I'll see you next time.